Hey guys, it's Ross got it on the Space Couch today. At the same time as I got the Douglas DC-10 book by P.R. Smith, I also got this, Modern Civil Airliners by Jonathan Falconer. As I happen to had the Boeing 747 by P.R. Smith as well, but I had that already, so I left that for someone else. Now, as you know, I have been moaning for a long time about the fact there are no recent airliner books. It's just all the old ones. I hadn't seen one for ages. And I had never actually seen this before. So to see it turn up in a charity shop for a couple of quid, well, I was delighted. And there you see on the back, the Airbus A380. So let's just go through this. There you see a Cathay 747. I did like that livery of Cathay. This is some pictures from during the pandemic when the planes were all laid up. So there's a line of Cathay A350s, a BA 747 that's been parked. Current airliners. So the ATR 72. What airline is that? I'm not sure. Oh, Fireflies. I don't know them. There's just some text about that plane as well, some of its stats. Flown on this with Gillair. It was a roller coaster. The winds were terrible. It was up and down and up and down. The whole hour and a half up to Newcastle. Ugh. Now, Swiss A220s. I think it's the 300. And there is the segment on that with Delta and Air Baltic. I like that special livery in the Air Baltic plane with the national colours. Then you just see it's the A320 family, so from the 18 to the 21. There is the A318. I've seen this flying into Heathrow a few times, and obviously the BA ones they used for their service from City to New York. And I've flown on an EasyJet A319, and there's a Qatar. There's BA flown on them a bunch of times. There's Virgin America, and there is a United 737. A321. So Arkia and China Eastern. They've just started flying the CRJ. The Comac plane, and that's an Azul A350. I think they've just announced that, actually no, that's an A330, but they've just announced they're pulling their A350s out of service. Can't make money with them. Virgin A330, Aeroflot A330. And there's the Virgin, I suspect that's an A340. Yeah, A340 600. When they took delivery of their first one, it was Princess Diana who was christening it at the ceremony. There is a Virgin A340. Who is that? It's Suriname. Right. And there is a Virgin A350. White Aeroflot rather than silver one, and there is Singapore. They have the most A350s. They've got 62. And they have got the most A380s. It's well over 100, 116 or something. And I've flown them and they're fantastic. See, Singapore and BA. 717 of Volatil. And I've flown on the 717 of Jetstar in Australia many years ago. There's AirTran and Qantas. Could have actually been that very plane because they swapped them between the carriers. Who is that? Avion. So 737s. Lots of 737s. Max, Lion Air, WestJet. Classic. The retro livery. Sadly, it seems like this one they thought it was going to be able to be preserved, but it looks like it's going to get scrapped instead, unfortunately. There's the 747, China Airlines and Airbridge Cargo. Then the 8. Atlas and Lufthansa. 767. Flown on BA and United 767s. Small, is that Atlas Prime Air? And the other one's ANA. BA 777, which I've flown on many times, from New York to Boston, from to Tel Aviv. Small Etihad, and who is that again? Aerologic. 787. KLM and ANA. I think it's ANA, yes. The CRJ, Mitsubishi CRJ, I think it is now, isn't it? Yeah, the Bombardier CRJ 700. Whatever it's renamed as now. Flybe have gone, of course, went bust a couple of times. Qantas and Air Greenland, that is a very attractive livery, and it's lovely on the A330 as well. American Airlines, I think that's an Embraer. Yeah. Rear-engined airliners becoming rarer and rarer. It's also an Embraer. See a bunch of them flying into City Airport. The MD-11 that we spoke of previously that I saw at San Francisco Airport. The Lufthansa Cargo. These are now the classic airliners. One thing I did notice, I think these are classic airliners because there's a Sukhoi Superjet which is more modern. There is no de Havilland Comet in this book, from what I recall, which is a bit of an odd oversight. I know none of them are flying now, but it was the first one. There's the Tupolev 204, the 757 lookalike. The, was it Air Koryo, North Korean Airlines? Legacy airliners. So they're all current airliners, I guess. Well, some of these might still be flying. American A300, they used to fly them into Heathrow, I think on the Boston route. The A300. That's, who was that? I thought that was in the Swiss A310. There's Air France, and who was that other one? Oh, it's Venezuelan airline. There's a cargo A300. Lots of cargo A300s. Pan Am A310, Air Transat. They only recently stopped flying them a couple of years ago. That's John Travolta's 707 that he had painted in the retro livery. He's now donated it to a museum. You see, Air France. Delta and Delta Shuttles, that'll be LaGuardia, I expect, or Boston maybe. The 727. Lufthansa. I'm not sure if that's a 100. I know they had 100s, but they also had 200s. Yeah, first generation 737. 757. Good comparison with a 204 in the same livery. Then that was actually a retro livery at that point to mark its passage out service. And is that Air Transat? Yes. Bombardier. Yeah, the CRJ 100s and 200s. The BAE 146. That's a great shot of it there. There is Danair. I'm not sure who that is. The Eurowings. Air Canada DC-8. More DC-8. There's one or two of them still flying. What's this? The Dornier Fairchild. There was the jet version of that as well. The 328 jet, I think it was called. Ah, yes, it was the 328 jet. There it was. It's a Fokker 100. Possibly a Fokker 70, which I've flown on from Vienna to Ljubljana and back. And I still have my Tyrolean Airways glass. Because it was Tyrolean Airways in Austrian livery. Aero California, very attractive livery. The DC-9. American Airlines had like 250 or more of them. But of all of the DC-9 MD-80 variants, that is. There's Delta, the MD-80. Another Delta. So the MD-90. The DC-10. There's still some of these flying for FedEx, I think. Certainly the MD-11s still are. There's Biman Bangladesh again. Who was that? Avient, but I think they used to be called Minabea Corporation. There's a Tupolev 2105. Sorry, Tupolev 154, what am I saying? The Aleutian Il-62. Used to see them flying into Heathrow in the early 90s. 134 there. Yeah, that's the 154. Very attractive looking plane, the Tupolev 154. What's happened there? There's the Yak 40 and the Yak 42. The Yak 40, of course, known as Codling. It's NATO code name. There's the Aleutian Il-18. And that is it. So yes, finally a modern airliner book, and it's a great one as well. And to get that with the DC-10 book was just perfect. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment suggestion for a upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.